In this three-part episode, we're going to cover the deprecation of the Splinterlands mobile app, as well as modern format and terms of service updates, and then we're going to go right into my strategy on gold foil Gladius card burning. If any of this sounds interesting to you, please stand by. Hey all you Splinterheads, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here, bringing you a three-parter. A couple news items. It's been a few days since I last did a video, due mostly to the fact that we had a lot of rain on Saturday. You all will probably have noticed or heard me talk about it while we were on the live stream. That led me into walking in my basement on Sunday and stepping into water. So all of Sunday was spent cleaning up water in my basement, so I lost a day on doing videos. So here we are today. We have a few things to catch up on, news items that I thought were worth mentioning and talking about. And then we're going to go into the bulk of my episode, which is going to be looking at my gold foil Gladius cards and deciding which to go ahead and burn for DEC before we lose that ability on April 2nd. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the deprecation of the Splinterlands mobile app. Now, some of you may have never used it. I used it a few times when I first started playing, and it just was not satisfactory to me. I just didn't have a good experience, so I stopped using that. Now, after that, I went ahead. I do most of my playing on PC. But from time to time, I find that when I'm out or something or other, I have to log into my account and I have to do something. With that, first of all, let's just say that I will leave the links to this story in the show notes so you can reference it. But basically what it comes down to is the Splinterlands mobile app is being deprecated. Okay, it's going away. And the and Nate also put a big statement, a large post on X the other day about this as well, how they're focusing on the browser experience, the mobile browser experience, okay, making it better. And that's going to be the pure focus as far as mobile goes. But with that said, you can use a regular browser, or most of us use the Hive keychain app on mobile. If you open it up, there's a number of things you can do with it. One of the things you can do within it is use the browser. And when you're logged into the Hive keychain app, if you're not familiar, you can use the browser and you can log in to Splinterlands. You can log into most of these Hive-based games as well, too. So you can have multiple tabs open. And on this page, they go ahead and give you the instructions on how to do that if you don't know that. But anyway, the news item is the app is going away. They're closing it down, pulling it, and they're going to concentrate on making the mobile app or the mobile browser experience better so that you can use it on a mobile browser. Okay, that's the first item. Second item was released today, and this is terms of service and a couple other things. They call it the fair play policy. This is where the team is going to take a harder look at the use of battle helpers in Modern and bots in Modern and a few other things, and they're actually tackling it head on. They just released this article today, so it's worth a read. I think we're all concerned about this topic, so we'll just take a brief look at it, and once again, I'll leave the link in the details if you want to go over it further. But it's interestingly enough, they did hire a person specifically for this job. So let's just take a brief scan through here. Splinterlands will be adding a fair play policy to our terms of service in order to provide more clarity on the rules for modern format, tournament, and guild brawl battles. The new policy is currently planned to be put in place as part of the upcoming release on Tuesday, April 2nd. So a lot of big changes happening April 2nd. I'm sure we're all aware of that. The fair play policy will specify, among other things, that both providing or using any tools or services that provide help to players during active battles in modern formats, tournaments, or guild brawls is strictly prohibited. Okay, let's get this straight on the board. Okay, any of those things, modern format, tournaments, or guild brawls, use your brain. That's it. No other helpers, no other tools allowed, right? Use your brain, be a good player. That's what's expected, okay? We will be working with the community DAO to implement a clear process for enforcing the fair play policy and for handling violations going forward. Okay, so they haven't made that part up. The next part was interesting to me. They did hire Sylar, and he is the inventor, as far as I know, and on the team for XBot. So they pulled him aboard, which seems to have a certain proportion of people for and against this, okay? And like I said, go to the link in the show notes and read the comments, and you'll see what I mean. To me, I think that he's in a perfect situation. I mean, one of the main call-outs is that maybe this is a conflict of interest, right? Because he's XBot, right? And there's a big conflict of interest there. However, just kind of abbreviating the comments, to this actual article, he's in a situation where he's being pulled on board. So Matt is replying that he's going to be much stricter. He's going to be set to a stricter set of rules to abide by, so that he doesn't have access to any quote unquote unfair amounts of information or data from the backside of Splinterlands. So, but a person that is familiar with creating and running a bot, an effective bot to all effects and purposes. I've been using the other bot, one of the other big bots, Archmage, but a lot of people that subscribe to my channel and talk about it say that XBot is better at this point in time. I'm not arguing that, but a person that has the ability, knowledge, know-how to create and run a bot, to me, is a perfect person to be able to try and combat bots. Okay, whether there's a conflict of interest there or not, it seems like it, but I mean, we can just take them at their word and see what happens. Either way, for or against, go ahead and read through the comments and make up your own mind. But that was announced. Sylar was brought on board. And the next big thing that we will talk about was mentioned last week or two ago, is the fact that they're bringing bots. Basically, they're going to run bots. The Splinterlands team is going to run bots to provide more match liquidity in the modern format. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump through here. Once again, I will point out that they noted that winners of the modern format battles will now earn 50% more of the new Glint token than winners of wild format battles. I don't know if this is over and above what Modern already offers. I mean, to me, I think I haven't done any recent comparisons, but Modern already offers a great deal more earning potential than what Wild does. I don't know if this 50% is tacked on top of that or not, but I guess we'll find out after April 2nd when we hear people reporting in. But he says that's there to encourage people to participate in Modern, and people might start going over if they've got more match liquidity. I mean, one of the big takeaways is that, other than it being really hard to compete in Modern, if you don't have max level decks, the other takeaway is people are leaving or crossing back over because there's just no liquidity. If you have to sit there and wait for several minutes, 5-10 minutes or whatever for a match, okay, so that combats that point. I wanted to call out here exactly how the bots are going to run. Okay, the Splinterlands team is planning to begin running automated accounts in Modern format that will not earn any rewards in order to help further ensure that players can always find a suitable match at all levels of play and at any time of the day. These accounts will have Hive wallets, but no Summoner Spellbook, meaning that they are able to own assets and play, but they cannot earn any rewards at all in the game. These accounts will be no different than any other account and will need to own or rent cards and will be subject to the same energy usage and other restrictions as everyone else. Therefore, we expect that these accounts will mostly be indistinguishable from regular players. So this is interesting to me that they're going about it this way to potentially help out the rental market. I don't know how these bots are going to be filled. I would think that they would do it in a way that they didn't have to rent out cards, but I mean, this is a bonus. They call out that possibly cards will be rented off the market for these bots. It'll be interesting to see how that actually goes into play. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and jump back over to my account. And what I have here is, first of all, this has been a topic for the last week or two. I forget who brought it up the first. It might have been Aftersound, or it might have been Gathering the Magic. I know Dwayne did a video on this as well, but I've been ruminating on this topic for probably the best part of 2 weeks. And the whole point here is the fact that we're getting ready to lose the ability to burn cards for DEC. That will cease April 2nd, right, with the update. A lot of things going in April 2nd. So, but I hadn't done it up to this point because I didn't have a good plan. I wanted to have a plan what I was going to do with the DEC that I got off of burning my gold foil Gladius cards before I actually did it. I actually wanted to do it before April 2nd, obviously. I had to. The whole point here is, you might say, well, why are you burning your gold foils? Well, it's taken so long to level up Gladius cards. I've been leveling this set of Gladius cards for the 2.5 years at least, right? And you can see where I'm at. But basically put, I really have no hope of leveling gold foil Gladius cards. Okay, so let's look out into the future, right? The future says that, and they've talked about this, that it might be possible in the future where when the Gladius cards go out of print and the next set comes in, then we may be able to convert these Gladius cards over into being able to be sold. And what that is going to amount to is paying a fee. Most likely the fee will be in DEC. Maybe SPS, but most likely DEC, right? And then I would be able to go ahead and sell those cards on the market. Possibly, right? But at that point, what value would there be? You might argue, well, there would be great value because everybody's burning them. Possibly, but going in the future, that's thinking a long way into the future, and that's also putting another cost onto it. So, for instance, let's just get into it and look at the cards. First of all, I want to pick out the cards that haven't been used in less than a month, okay, or more than a month, okay. So the cards have to not have been used within a month's time frame, okay. And then also I'm going to look at if I have a regular foil copy available for usage at a higher level. In other words, I'm not using that card. And then we'll take a look on a case-by-case basis. And then my plan is that once I burn this list of cards, I'm going to take, and the best idea I could come up with is, since SPS is down a little bit at this point in time, just to convert it over into SPS and stake it. I'm trying to hit that 50,000 mark, and this will help me, and I think at this point this is my best bet. Okay, so currently I have 2,699 DEC, and I will deduct that from whatever we come up with before I do convert it to SPS, just to stay on a level playing field here. So let's go ahead and look. The first one is Chimney Wall Stop. I do have a level 4 regular foil, so this guy gets burnt, and he hasn't been played in 8 months. So let's go ahead and convert to dark energy crystals. I'll get 500 out of that. Okay. Now, next up is Alva the Crusher. I have a level 4 of her. She has never been played, so she gets burnt. I do like Relinor Cleaver. I have him at level 3. This level 2 has never been played, so this will bring 2,000, so he gets burnt. A lot of burning going on here. Okay. Let's go ahead and see where we're at next. Now, next up is Edith Emberstar. However, she's been played. I play her. I don't necessarily know if I need the gold foil, though, because I have a level 2 regular foil. I don't need the gold foil. Go ahead and burn it. And get 10,000 out of that. Okay. Where are we at now? You know, I like Katrelba. She's a pretty strong card. I'm going to keep the gold foils of her. Cutter Breeze, use him once in a while, but I have a level 3 regular foil. Getting burnt. 2,000. Paladin Rack. Once again, I have a higher regular foil card, so he's going to bring me 2,000. I don't play him very often whatsoever. Can't remember the last time I played him. Burnt. Same with Helmet Carafax. I have a higher level regular foil, never play it. Burning it. Okay, where does that leave us? Captain Katie. I have a higher level regular foil. She's a very popular card. I'm going to keep that gold foil. Next up is Marisol. I use her frequently, or him frequently, either way. I'm keeping that one. Making a command decision. Whistling Damon. Getting burnt. I have a higher level regular foil. Use it from time to time, but not that frequently. Usually lower level, lower mana matches, like 20 and below, would find me using him. But I have a regular foil of him. Catrifus, couldn't tell you the last time I used him. He's got a lot of health. That's about it. Burnt. Witch of Warwick, same thing. Never used the gold foil. Got a higher level regular foil. Getting burnt. And that is it. So let's do a little quick math here. I ended up with 23,199 minus 2,699. So I made 20,500 DEC off of that. Okay. So, and I kept a few of the nicer cards. I didn't burn them, but for better or worse. So let's go ahead and transfer to Hive Engine. Nope. In-game to Hive Engine. $20,500. Now, let's go over to Hive Engine. Got my 20,500. Going to do a swap from DEC to SPS. Okay, 5% slippage. It's not too much. It usually works fine. Okay. So, in the interest of time, it's been about 20 minutes since I put that request through. It is still pending. One of the things about doing swaps on Hive Engine is sometimes they can take a little while. So, we will see here that I will realize about 180 SPS out of that. So, not too shabby. I will mention though that when you're using the swap feature, about a month ago, I had it fail because I was trying to do probably a swap that was outside. It was too high for the amount of liquidity for the token I was trying to swap for. So that's why it failed. I didn't figure this was too big of a swap though. But just as a refresher for those who don't know, if you have a swap or a trade fail on Hive Engine, what you need to do is go to the bottom of the page and go to create a support ticket and open this up. Okay, it's very easy. Put your email, your name, your phone number, and just type what the issue is. I've had good luck with this in the past, and what's going to happen is if I let this go for 24 hours, and if the transaction fails or it goes stagnant or something or other, then I will put in a ticket, and otherwise this will have to be a to be continued episode. With that said, this has been Bronze Dragon, and my plan for using the gold foil DEC was to turn it into SPS and stake it. I figured that's the best idea I could come up with. I'm going to do that same thing on my secondary account. Let me know in the comments whether you're selling your gold foil Gladius cards to make a little bit of DEC, and if so, what you're using the DEC for. With that said, I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and I will see you on the flip side.